welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we're unpacking a totally fascinating piece of source material that tackles climate science in a way you probably haven't seen before. We're actually looking at an educational manga called What is Global Warming? And it uses a talking mammoth to break down the complex science of our changing Earth. It's a really unique approach, so let's just dive right into the past, present, and future of our climate.
Right off the bat, our source hits us with this incredibly powerful warning. I really hope that you will not suffer from food shortages like we did. Now, this isn't coming from a modern climatologist. It's coming from the perspective of a mammoth. Think about that. This is a creature that actually lived through and ultimately succumbed to a massive climate shift. It's this incredibly ominous warning from a voice of the past, and it honestly sets a completely different stage for how we usually talk about global warming. I mean, this history goes incredibly deep. Humans and mammoths literally coexisted in ancient days. We have proof of this from cave paintings in Europe that date all the way back to the Paleolithic era. Our narrator, the mammoth, tells us that its genus existed from around 3 million years ago until about 10,000 years ago, with a territory spanning Europe, Asia, and North America. And what's wild is our modern fascination with them. Back in 2005, when the remains of a frozen Siberian mammoth were displayed at the World Exposition in Japan, an astounding 7 million visitors came to see it. 7 million. We are so captivated by them, yet they represent this really stark lesson in extinction. Section 1. A voice from the past. Natural climate shifts versus now. So, Earth's climate is not, and honestly has never been, static. Over its 4.6 billion year history, starting out as a literal magma ocean, the Earth has constantly bounced back and forth between ice ages and warm periods. Even in our relatively recent past, we've seen some pretty significant shifts. We had the Younger Dryas around 10,000 years ago, the medieval warm period about 1,000 years ago, and the Little Ice Age just 500 years ago. The source also points out that we're currently in a slow-paced warming period that actually kicked off 20,000 years ago. When you look at historical temperature graphs, you see these drastic, massive fluctuations. So why does this matter for us? Well, according to the mammoth in our manga, one of the leading theories for their extinction isn't actually just human overhunting. It's a natural result of global warming. After the Ice Age, as temperatures naturally rose, the grasslands and ponds that the mammoths heavily relied on were replaced by coniferous forests. The specific plants they lived on just vanished. It's this perfect, tragic example showing exactly how vulnerable life is to environmental shifts. Section 2. Just a few degrees? Shattering the illusion. Fast forward to today. A supercomputer simulation projecting global temperature changes from 1990 to 2100 predicts an increase of about 1 to 5 degrees Celsius over the next century. Now, to you and me, 1 to 5 degrees, that doesn't sound like much at all. The common misconception is that a warmer Earth just means nicer weather, right? Like a year-round summer. But the reality, the actual science, tells us it means widespread habitat destruction and incredibly serious food shortages. In the manga, this character named Mole completely embodies this naive assumption. She's imagining this endless, fun summer where she can just swim in the sea all year round. The characters initially think, hey, it's only 5 degrees. We can ignore a slight change. We'll just move or adjust. But their teacher, Sensei, steps in and completely shatters this illusion. Because while we humans might have the technology to just crank up the air conditioner or relocate to a new city, nature doesn't work like that.
A sudden bump of just a few degrees is absolutely catastrophic for the natural world. Section 3. The ecosystem domino effect. A chain reaction of extinction. The manga lays this out so logically, and it's terrifying. Step 1. Plants are incredibly sensitive to temperature changes, and unlike humans, they can't just pack up and move to a cooler climate. Under blazing heat, they simply die. Step 2. Without those plants, the insects, the birds, and the plant-eating animals completely vanish from their habitats because their primary food source is just gone. Step 3. The domino then falls right onto the meat-eating animals who can no longer survive the massive ecological disorder. It's a total collapse. When the plants go, everything that relies on them goes too. But here is the crucial thing you really need to take away from this. This is not just about wild animals in a forest somewhere. The source makes it explicitly clear that this global ecosystem change directly leads to a serious shortage of agricultural foods and livestock. The very foundation of human food security collapses right alongside the natural food web. Section 4. The human cost. Melting ice and rising tensions. 3 to 7 meters. Those supercomputer models we talked about, they predict that just a 5 degrees Celsius increase would melt the entire Greenland ice sheet. That alone results in a 3-meter rise in global sea levels over the next millennium. But it doesn't stop there. If all the ice on Earth were to melt completely, we're talking about raising sea levels by roughly 7 meters. And the characters in the manga realize with absolute horror what that means. If the sea level rises like that, low-lying coastal areas and small islands will be entirely submerged. They start asking, wait, what if my country disappears? What if my town is just gone? And that casual proposed solution of just moving somewhere else, it's completely dismantled. Not many countries are actually equipped to receive millions of sudden evacuees. Escaping to another country means overcoming massive barriers, everything from learning new languages to just finding basic shelter. Creating millions of climate refugees is an absolutely staggering human cost. Which brings us to the ultimate chilling consequence. As the habitable areas of the world are reduced by rising waters and food becomes incredibly scarce due to that ecosystem domino effect we discussed, the manga points out a horrible but very real possibility: widespread wars. People will literally be forced to fight over whatever scarce food and land remains. The absolute slightest difference in the Earth's temperature, just those few degrees that Mole thought were no big deal, is enough to upset the entire world order. Section 5. The Greenhouse Effect Explained. Understanding the mechanism. So how does this actually happen? Well, sunlight comes down and heats up the ground. The ground then emits infrared radiation back upward. Greenhouse gases are specific molecules in the air that effectively absorb this heat radiation. By trapping this heat, they are what warm up the Earth's atmosphere. But what exactly are these gases? The manga breaks it down into a clear list. We've got carbon dioxide, which our mammoth friend notes humans are emitting more and more of, along with water vapor, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbons, commonly known as CFCs. These are the specific molecules acting like a giant invisible blanket around the Earth, absorbing all that infrared radiation. But actually, scratch that whole greenhouse gases are the villain idea.
Because here's a truly fascinating twist. Without greenhouse gases, Earth would literally be a frozen ice planet. These gases are not inherently evil. They're absolutely essential for life on Earth. They keep our planet warm enough to actually sustain us. So the problem isn't their existence. The problem is human acceleration. By pumping excess CO2 and methane into the atmosphere, we are thickening that blanket way beyond its natural balance, leading to the rapid warming and all the disastrous domino effects we just walked through. The mammoth told us that humans are sometimes driven only by our own desires, blindly jumping over lines that really shouldn't be crossed. But it also gave us hope, noting that global warming can absolutely be minimized by our combined efforts and ingenuity. The whole world needs to tackle this together to head off an irreversible crisis. So the question is, will humanity act to prevent it, or will we ultimately share the fate of the mammoth? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.